I'm Aaron.
And I'm Abby.
And you are home with
A&A.
So, as you can see with our page, we just took like a 3-day, 2.5-day trip to New York, I guess is what you could say.
Yeah.
And we tend to do that a few times throughout the year just to kind of get away from work and everything. But it was a really, really good time. Had a blast. I've never been to New York before. She's been to New York how many times?
Just once.
Just once?
But I had to teach Aaron how to be mean to people.
No, see that? No.
New Yorkers are mean.
I taught her how to be polite, but not to run over people with absolutely no purpose intended
But
whatsoever.
that's what you do in New York, is you run people over.
See, you don't have to, though. We didn't have to run anybody over, and we got to our destination with no issues whatsoever. But that was my first time to New York City, and I will say this, by the time that we got done with our trip and by the time that we were flying back home to Dallas, I was telling Abby that we absolutely need to make that trip at least a few more times and then take our kids there one day eventually as well. So,
Yeah, it'd be fun.
but
We thought we would get on and share just a few reasons why we think it's valuable to take kind of a reset and hit the reset button in your marriage. And one of the first reasons why we do things like that is simply that, just as a reset. We were talking the other day about how kind of in life you kind of just get to cruising and going through your routine, and then it kind of feels like it starts to feel like you're more just partners in life instead of husband and wife, just because life is busy, and it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of the way life goes. And so sometimes it's fun to just take a reset. It doesn't have to be anywhere crazy. It doesn't even have to be a trip. Maybe just a date night, or just to kind of hit the reset button and realize, hey, we're on a team here. We're husband and wife, and let's kind of just take a reset and remember what end goal we're working towards in marriage, which is ultimately to glorify the Lord, and then to love each other and to cherish each other and spend quality time together.
For sure. And I would just add to that we, you've definitely got to hit a reset button. We've been married now for almost 5 years. In May, it'll be 5 years. And we found out very soon within marriage that there's a lot of things that, kind of get in the way. And you've got to make it a point to make sure that you still make time for each other. And so, but I will say this too. A good reason for getaways and a good reason to do that a few times a year is, and I know this might sound kind of corny to a lot of people out there, and I know that there's, I've been told by, a lot of older people, you've only been married 4 years and all this stuff, but genuinely, Abby and I love to be together. We love to do things together. We love to take road trips together.
I'm happiest when I'm with you.
Is that like a corny joke, or is...
No, I'm being serious. I'm at my happiest when I'm with you. I think we do. We genuinely love to be together.
Absolutely. And the thing is, too, is, my whole life, I've been told, you got to make sure you got to take the guy's trip. You got to get out of the house and all that. And if I'm being totally honest, there are times, whenever, my best friends and I will go take a, golfing getaway, fishing getaway, something like that. But at the same time, none of that's ever been just to get away from Abby or just to have a break from marriage for like a weekend or something. As a matter of fact, by the time I get finished with those, yes, I have fun with them, but I still want to get, I still want to come home to Abby. I still miss her whenever I'm gone. And, so being able to take getaways and things like that, it kind of, it almost, and this is kind of a cliche term, I feel, but it's true. It helps to rekindle a little bit that, the flame that we had from the very beginning of our marriage. The flame that was, the excitement, the being together all the time. The time that, when you first get married, you're super excited all the time. And, there's some times whenever that can not necessarily be damaged, not that those thoughts and that's damaged necessarily, but it helps you to get back to the basics of your marriage, and kind of like Abby said a second ago, remember, the commitment that you made, and being together, and, loving being together is one of those things. So
Yeah, I think that's true. And I just think that it's important to realize in your marriage when you feel like you've kind of gotten into that routine and then to press reset and switch up the routine. And it's worked well for us. So we just thought we would get on and share.
But I do want to say this real quick before we, kind of get off. Find new places to go. We don't have kids yet. Of course, that's something that we pray for each day. And, that's something that we know that God is going to bring in his due time. But while we don't have children yet, Abby and I have constantly had the idea to travel and to go see different places. And then one day when we do have kids, we can take our kids there and show them different places, different places we've traveled and introduce them to that world of traveling. But, now I will say this too. We live...
You need to let them go.
We live in a world where you travel together, you live together, and so forth, no matter what. And, when it comes to traveling together, it's important to remember that there is a point in time when you get married. I emphasize married life. That's when to make sure that you're taking these getaways, and that's when to make sure that you're spending that time together by doing that. And if you're not married just yet, if you're a couple, if you're dating or so forth, we're going to come out with some other videos at different points in times to kind of talk about a lot of things that we did before we got married to make sure that we were spending time together, to make sure that we were getting to know each other better in preparation for marriage.
Yep.
So,
but do you have anything you'd like to say, Esther?
Yes.
Are you crazy? All right, can you say bye? Okay, bye.
Bye.